everybody, welcome to Coffee Chat with Camille. Um, Please like and subscribe and share. This particular episode is on a movie from 1988 named Mississippi Burning. And I thought that I would bring it to you all since, oh, whoops, hold on, I have the TV going. Um, yeah, 1988 movie. It's called Mississippi Burning, and it's directed by Alan Parker. And so I just want to go over it if I can, okay? Because I've been having a little bit of an issue getting it to act right. Just one second. Mm, I don't, I don't know why it's so zoomed in on my face like that. One moment. Mm. Wonderful. Finally, I have my movie review for you. So, Mississippi Burning. Welcome to Coffee Chat with Camille. I'm your hostess, Camille, and also I'm your indie film reviewer. The question today is Mississippi still burning? Now, we're first going to go into the movie, and then we're going to go into the historical context of the movie and about the movie, okay? And then I do have the three civil rights workers who are from the original case called Mississippi Burning. And I did find it in the history section of the FBI's website. And anyone can visit it. It would be under their hate crime section. Right? So let's move on, right? Okay, so fair use and copyright. Coffee Chat with Camille contains original commentary, criticism, news reporting, and all that. Okay? And then these are all my sources. All right, and then what I do want to read off is Mississippi Burning is inspired by the 1964 Freedom Summer killings of James Chaney, Andrew Goodman, and Michael Schwerner. This episode compares the film with the historical record. Okay, so the intro. Today we're just going to discuss, or I'm going to discuss a little bit about the film, the performances, historical accuracy, and the real Freedom Summer story. Why the story still matters today. I think we all know why does Mississippi Burning, the story still apply today. Move it up a little bit. Okay, so right here. Oh, you're playing with the button. Oh, not that part. That's the director. Okay, right here. Yeah, what's the movie about? Mississippi Burning in 1980 is a historical crime drama that is inspired by events of Freedom Summer 1964. After three civil rights workers disappear in Mississippi, two FBI agents arrive to investigate. As they confront fear, prejudice, and resistance within a deeply divided community, the film explores justice, courage, and the struggle for civil rights. So, this is a synopsis, okay? Now, I'm just going to do a quick quote from the director of the film. His name is Alan Parker, and he's British. He said that in England, you're forever worried that your actors are going to have one glass too many at lunchtime. Some have built entire careers on bumbling through films pissed. In the US, the problem isn't so much what they pour down their throats as what they stuff up their noses. It took me a long time to catch up on that. When an actor was going to the trailer to do a line, he wasn't going over his script. And then there's another one, and you all can read it on your own time. It's a quote from Robert Carlyle. Okay? Now we're going to go on. All right, so let's get into the cast. The cast is Gene Hackman and William Dafoe, Frances McDermott, Brad Dourif, R. Lee Ermey, Gellard Sartain, Stephen Tobolowsky, Michael Rooker, Pruitt Taylor Vince, Baja, I think it's Jola. Okay, then there are a few more cast members too. And it's Kevin Dunn, Frankie Faison, Thomas B. Mason, Jeffrey Knopfst, Rick, I think it's Zieft, Christopher White, Gladys Greer, and Jake Gibson. Hey everybody, welcome to Coffee Chat with Camille. I'm doing a movie review on the movie Mississippi Burning 1988. Okay, so the director is Alan Parker, stars are Gene Hackman, Willem Dafoe, Frances McDermott, and the genre is historical crime drama and it's rated R. Please like and subscribe and like. And if you were kind of like waiting, then I apologize for the delay, but I'm here and I appreciate you waiting. And even if you see this after it's filmed or airs, however you say it, then all you have to do is just please like and subscribe then as well. All right, so those are the 3 stars. So next. So the plot, which is spoiler free, okay, and I'm doing that in case you haven't already seen the movie. How does a story develop? A plot is always how does a story develop. The story follows FBI agents Rupert Anderson and Alan Ward as they investigate the disappearance of 3 civil rights workers in rural Mississippi. Their investigation exposes fear, racism, and resistance within the community while revealing 2 very different approaches to seeking justice. Inspired by real events, the film blends historical facts with fictional characters and dramatized scenes. Okay. And then again, please subscribe now. Why not? I'm trying to get my subscriber goal up as usual. Okay, so how accurate is this movie? Well, the film captures the racial violence, the fear and intimidation, corruption, the atmosphere of Mississippi in 1964. However, many characters are fictional. The FBI investigation is dramatized. Local black activists played a much larger role in the real events than the film portrays. I've never been in a protest. I always wanted to, and then I get too scared. So I guess it's not meant to be. Not in a massive one. But anyway, moving on. Back to the topic, right? Um, right here. Okay. So this is Mississippi Burn 1988. Right here is the director, and I think he's on the right. He's on the right hand side, I believe. Um, and then Gene Hackman, Willem Dafoe, and Frances McDermott also are the main stars, and they did an amazing job. What I liked is that I felt that the acting made me feel as if I was really in Mississippi, 1964, with a good FBI agent and a not so good FBI agent, otherwise known as good cop, bad cop type deal, who were absolutely fearless during a time when they actually could have lost their lives because the Klan is nothing to play with and still isn't. And I just loved Gene Hackman's portrayal of his character, and I thought it was very real and convincing. And there's just one scene where he just gives it to one of the officers in in the movie, but not give it to him in a punch way, in a little bit different way. But you have to see it for yourself. And that scene it's a bar scene, as a matter of fact. It just captured his incredible acting ability and also just the fearlessness of what it took in order to do what these FBI agents were doing. It takes a lot of guts to go out there and apply law in the right way. Law and order. The acting is a 5. Directing was outstanding. I gave it a 5. The music, perfect. Cinematography, excellent. It's so good that there's this other scene in the movie where the where there's like a older woman and she's in there, it looks like with her husband, and just how depressed the housing was just shocking. and this is in the rural South. I don't even know how those houses were habitable, but anyway, they were. So moving on, the emotional impact very strong for me. You can watch it. You may disagree with me, but the emotional impact really, after watching it now, I can honestly say that it really feels like the climate we are in now. Those of us who are following one of the biggest cases in the nation, probably the world by now, thanks to civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump, and activist, civil rights activist Reverend Sharpton. But because of the climate now, I feel like this is coming home to roost, unfortunately. Okay, the scenario of people not being represented correctly or in the way that they need, especially families, in a way that they need to resolve a untimely death in their families that could possibly, allegedly, be um, more or less foul play. Okay, so, oh, I forgot to talk about Gene Hackman. Goodness gracious. Anyway, let's move on back a little bit. There we go. Yeah, Gene Hackman, he delivered the strongest performance. While William Defoe's character, he was very quiet, but he also was quite. His character was very convincing, and he was an awesome partner as far as I was concerned in the movie. But William Defoe provided a contrasting investigative style, and together they create compelling tension throughout the film. Okay. So 5-star review as far as I'm concerned. Five stars. All right. I recommend this to anyone interested in American history, civil rights, historical dramas, crime investigations. 5-star rating. Check it out. It's actually free on YouTube. Okay. If you haven't seen Mississippi Burning, it is free on YouTube. Oh, of course, there's always, if you don't have the TV, then there's usually like some commercials and things, Anyway, FBI history. The KKK, which is the Ku Klux Klan, also known as the White Knights, was in a murderous mood. This is according to the FBI history website. Okay, this is in their database. This is one of their cases. At the start of the Freedom Summer, a massive 3-month initiative to register Southern, I call them FBAs, or black and brown folks, to vote, and a direct response to the Klan's own campaign of fear and intimidation. Please like and subscribe and like. Thank you so much. Okay, I can't read the rest of this, so we have to go on. All right. So, the true story of the Freedom Summer, there were thousands of volunteers who had traveled to Mississippi to help foundational Black Americans to register to vote, establish freedom schools, fight segregation peacefully. The campaign faced intense resistance and violence by non-native whites in the United States. And this QR code, it goes right to the FBI's hate crime, or if you need any statistics to know anything, if you're like into crime and statistics and analysis and where we are today versus yesterday, just go in there. All the records are there and they're free to the public. Okay, so that's what the QR code is. It's the FBI's website. All right, so the 3 civil rights workers that are here, this was the poster that they had put up, and it said, "Missing, call FBI." On June 22nd, 1964, the U.S. Department of Justice requested FBI assistance, and Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy directed the FBI to lead the investigation. On June 23rd of 1964, FBI agents located the burned station wagon used by the three civil rights workers. The investigation became known as MyBurn. MyBurn, sorry, is capital MIBURN, and that means Mississippi burning. By June 24th, which is the next day, the FBI, assisted by the National Guard, conducted an extensive search throughout Mississippi while investigating the Klan's involvement. Okay, so then the next month, which is August 4th, acting on information from an informant, okay, investigators discovered the bodies of James Chaney, Andrew Goodman, and Michael Schwerner buried beneath an earthen dam. December 4th of 1964, which is about 2 months later, more than a dozen individuals, which means more than 12, including the Deputy Sheriff Cecil Price and Sheriff Lawrence Rainey, were indicted on federal conspiracy charges. By October 20th of 1967, so we went from 1964 to 1967, 7 defendants were convicted of violating the civil rights of the 3 victims. None were convicted of murder because federal murder, none were convicted of unaliving because federal murder charges were not available under the applicable law. And then June 21st, isn't that something? So they couldn't even charge them because, wow, there was no laws to even prosecute them for taking the lives of these 3 civil rights workers. Okay? Wow. Anyway, by June 21st, 2000, I don't know what this is. Yeah, 2005, sorry. Edgar Ray Killen, a former Klan leader, was convicted of 3 counts of manslaughter 41 years after the unalivings. Legacy. These unalivings of James Chaney, Andrew Goodman, and Michael Schwerner shocked the nation and helped strengthen public support for civil rights. Okay, and more. So we'll go on. Yeah, I said the wrong word. I'm supposed to say unaliving on TikTok. They don't too much like the M word. The vehicle, so what actually happened was the vehicle was stopped. They were arrested by a local deputy sheriff, the 3 civil rights workers. After being released from jail that night, they were pursued by members of the Klan, unalived and buried in an earthen dam. Their disappearance sparked a nationwide FBI investigation. Okay, so this is the real story of Mississippi burning, and this is the real case. It was called MIBURN, like MIBURN, as in Nancy. This stuff just gives me chills, to be honest. I don't know about you all, but whew. Oh boy. Okay. Usually when I need my timer to be fast, it's slow. When I need to be slow, it's fast. So the historical legacy. The outcome of the FBI investigation was the FBI investigation led to federal civil rights charges against several individuals involved in the killing. In the unalivings. In 1967, 18 men were charged and 7 were convicted of violating the victims' civil rights. No one was convicted of unaliving at the time because Mississippi authorities declined to prosecute those charges. In 2005, Edgar Ray Killen was convicted of Mississippi State Court of 3 counts of manslaughter for his role in the case. Remember, 41 years later. Key takeaway. The case exposed weaknesses in the justice system and demonstrated the importance of federal civil rights enforcement. So the question is Mississippi still burning? The fires of hatred and violence portrayed in Mississippi Burning belong to one of the darkest chapters in Mississippi's history. Today, Mississippi is also known for its birthplace of the blues, literary, literary and artistic contributions, historic landmarks and museums, strong communities working toward progress, while challenges related to equality and opportunity continue, as they do of course, across the United States or the nation, right? So the state has changed significantly since 1964. My final reflection is history should never be forgotten, but it should also remind us of how far we've come and inspire us to continue building a more just society. But one of the other little parts I want to add is we can't do it alone. We have to have the other all sides of the United States come together in order for this to happen. We cannot do it alone as FBAs. We cannot. It's just too stressful and it's too painful. That's why a lot of people after civil rights didn't even speak about it because it was too painful. All this stuff is painful. Even the current case that is everywhere. Um, and I don't even want to really mention it at this point because I already covered it, and we have podcasters like Queen Amadaya and Lakeisha Keisha and Tisa Tells and several male and female who are doing an amazing job. So all I'm doing is just trying to bring awareness about the history, okay, of Mississippi Burning, the movie, and do something a little bit different. Now, my road to 500 subscribers. I want to thank you for my 400 plus count. Okay, so let's reach my 500 subscribers together this month. Well, between this month and the end of the year. All right. But I'm building it this time without the assistance of doing sponsorships and all that stuff. I just want to do it on my own anyway. It's easier for me. Thank you guys so much for watching Coffee Chat with Camille's movie review on Mississippi Burning. It came out in 1988. It is currently available on YouTube. All right. And then July's, excuse me, I want to give you my stats real quick. July's views, YouTube channel summary. In the last 28 days, my views are at 1,000, a little over 1,000. My watch hours have gone up to 11.3 hours. Thank you so much for watching. Please continue. I apologize for the delay earlier, but things happen. Subscribe now, and thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. Right? And then I do want to let you know that I have an album out. It's now playing worldwide, and it's on all streaming platforms. You can contact me at Coffee Chat with Camille at Gmail if you're interested in buying it, or you can just go to Spotify, to Apple Music, Amazon Music. It's there. Okay. The song is Reparations Now. It's not political, but a humanitarian song, and it's something that I believe that needs to be done that pertains to my ancestry and lineage and many of ours. So, and I did write it from my heart. Okay. So anyway, but also left you the QR code, and I really want you to listen. It's an 18 track. I sing live on it with my ukulele. You'll see me with my ukulele all the time. But anyway, so I do that, and I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this was informational, good information for you. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Okay. I guess I'll be back maybe this week, Tuesday. I'll say Tuesday, no later than Tuesday. Again, this is a movie review of Mississippi Burning, 1988. Right, see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Bye for now, everyone. Have an excellent weekend and stay safe out there. Bye.